How's it going, everyone? Once again, this is the Happy Accidents podcast with Thunderthief, and this is episode 7, talking about my track, No Tomorrow.
Living like there's no tomorrow. Spending love like I'll never need to borrow. Gonna spend it all this once. Gonna give you all my love till it hurts.
So this song first started being called Major Minor, and that came up with my buddy Nate, who used to be in the project with me, and he was messing around with Serum. He had just gotten it and was really stoked on the sound that he got, and that's kind of the first synth that you hear in the track. And as he developed that and sort of got some basic beats behind it and some chords and whatnot, he sent it over to me, and I started to write the bass line that kind of came just instantly. I had a lot of fun writing that lick at the end of the bass line because it's just kind of still goes back to like my metal riffs, and it's just like a cool, fun solo to have. And the first inclination that Nate had with the song was he wanted it to change from the major key to the relative minor key and just have the vibe definitely switch, but still be using the same chords, just kind of arranged differently. And so on the second part of the song, there's just this very dramatic change that occurs in the instrumental where like the vibe just kind of becomes more somber and beautiful. One of my favorite things about this song in making it was Nate and I got to play it a lot as a duo and see how people vibed with it and have certain instrumental ideas that we added to it and see how people vibed. And I ended up writing a handful of different synth lead parts that got scratched once the vocals came on. And this was the actually second song that I sent to April Henry. She had started to work with me on my track Rise, and I sent her this one in the midst of it, and she just sent me this cool just voice memo demo of what she had working in her head, and I fell in love with it immediately. Like, the hook was just perfect. I really liked that whole message, and it just really resonated with me.
Living like there's no tomorrow. Spending love like I'll never need to borrow.
In fact, there are still parts of that original voice memo demo that are in the final take of the song.
Gonna spend it all this once. Gonna give you all my love till it hurts.
A very cool element in the track is the use of the electric guitar. There are 2 different guitarists on this song. One of them's name is Ray Ramirez, and he is the guitar that starts the major movement. And then my friend Dan, who lives in New York, he is the sort of lead textural guitar at the end. And it was interesting in like the mixing process of all of this, like really how present I wanted the guitars to be versus April. And I think they just complement each other so well, it was hard to decide sometimes, but I really like the impact that it has, and getting to play those parts live is so much fun. When I was finalizing the mix of this, I was in Hawaii with my family on like what would be like our last complete family vacation. And I remember so vividly mixing the end guitar track, like while looking out at this beautiful beach and just having my headphones on and getting to smell the ocean and the sand, and how this song felt in that moment. It's gonna live with me forever. And I say that it was my last family vacation because my mom passed away in 2019 of cancer, and I had gotten this track all wrapped up and sent off and scheduled to be released on September 30th. And on October 1st, she passed away. And what's so hard about it is that this song had such a life to it when I was writing it and I'd been playing it, and just that's the feeling that was tied to it up until the end of September. I was in Sweden with April, loving the hell out of playing it, and people really connected with it, and I was very excited for the upcoming release in a couple weeks. And on the day that song released, I flew home from San Francisco on my way to my grandmother's funeral, who also died of cancer. And I literally had to skip it to fly home and be with my mother in her final hours. And I was with my family and my aunts, and I played them this song, and it just made everyone cry. I played my mom this song, and this is the last piece of art that she ever got to hear from me. So, like, the hardest part about this is, like, I look at this song now and it's just tied with all these memories of my mom, and it's a really beautiful state of being, but it is hard to sit in. Like, I just listened to this song 3 or 4 times before I started this podcast just to take notes, get in the headspace, whatever, and like the whole time I'm doing this, I'm just seeing her. And I did these podcasts with April, like talking about these tracks, and I initially wanted to have the creation perspective on these podcasts, but it was basically at that point that I decided that I just needed to start over and wait and sit with it and reflect on these songs individually and in time, because I knew I would have to visit this song again and talk about this fucking crazy coincidence. And really, the entire intent of this song is to celebrate life, to give as much as you can and as much as you want. Like, everything you do in life comes from you, and you can make anything possible. And focusing on anything but the now is just a waste of time. And my mom really believed that, and she resonated that. And I think this song resonates that, and everyone I got to make it with resonates that. So I'm really grateful that this piece of music is out there, and in a way, she gets to still be out there. Anyway, yeah, that's how this song feels to me. But I love it, and I'm super proud of it, and I play it at every show, and now you know why I'm kind of like laugh crying the whole time. So this is No Tomorrow.
wanna see you.